Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's reading is, what does your higher self want you to know? What messages do they have for you? What advice do they have for you? We'll see what comes through in the reading. But we have 3 groups for you to choose from: Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. Please feel free to pause the video if you do need a little more time to choose your group, but I will see you guys in your readings. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the first group, then this reading could be for you. I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you so much for joining me. So what messages, what does your higher self want you to know? Okay, so we have the Chariot and we have the Hangman, both upright. I'll read these 2 cards first and then I'll do the rest. So it feels like your higher self wants you to know that you're much stronger than you think, that you're in control even when it seems like you're not. And they want you to give yourself, your voice, your values, and your actions a lot more credit than you have been. They want you to stop letting other people or forces control you, whether that's media or I don't know. But they don't want things outside of yourself to control you, whether that's consciously or unconsciously. They want you to be super aware of that. And they also need you to get focused, stop or don't let distractions get in the way. They want you to be your own motivation. They don't want you to feel like you need permission to go after what matters to you. Like if something is important to you, maybe you don't need to wait for signs. Maybe you don't need to wait for some type of confirmation and just, do you whenever you feel, whenever you want to or need to. So your higher self also wants you to make changes within your home life. It doesn't seem like, superficial changes like decorating or moving furniture around or decluttering or anything like that. So it could be changes, it could be like personal changes, changes that make you happy. But these are changes that make you happy. It's not changes that will make like the collective happy, if that makes sense. Like they may not be unhappy about it, but this is something that is focused on you and your happiness. So your higher self wants you to make those changes in your home. And for some of you, your higher self also wants you to explain to some people why a minor sacrifice might be necessary, or someone. This could be someone who's fairly new in your life in regards to the sacrifice message. And your higher self also wants you to stop making yourself too accessible for certain people. For some of you, this could be people you work with, but they kind of just want you to stop giving too much to people who don't deserve it. They kind of want people to earn it when it comes to you. Your higher self also wants you to know that if you want change, you're going to need to be the driving force, for that change. They want you to stop blaming others for your circumstances and to kind of own your choices. And it could be to do with owning your choices, or it could just be not allowing other people to, again, have that kind of control over you, even if they have influenced you or, made certain things within your life, difficult or whatever it may be. So yeah, your higher self wants you to not see yourself as fragile. Your higher self is telling you that you're not fragile. You're maybe distracted or not confronting something, and they kind of want you to realize that as well. Your higher self also wants you to stop coasting and start leading within various areas of your life. They want you to use the tools that you have at your disposal in terms of, resources, your knowledge, your talents, in order for you to make something happen. And they kind of just want you to get out of your own way, and to not give other people the power to feel like they're in your way in the first place, if that makes sense, So yeah, your higher self wants you to know that your determination right now determines your victory. They want you to have confidence in your plans. For some of you, your higher self wants you to postpone travel plans or hosting if you need to. Okay, so only take that message if it makes sense. But your higher self, they want you to stop dwelling. They want you to let things go. Don't let things emotionally impact you. Try to shake it off if you can, and kind of like get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Stop trying to fix things. And this feels like things like that was clarified by the Ten of Cups. So this could be things like outside of yourself, like maybe within your community or within your family, friend group, work group, whatever it may be. But yeah, your higher self doesn't want you to feel like you're the one that constantly needs to be the one fixing things for other people, Your higher self wants you to know that there is nothing to fix, especially within yourself. It feels like they want you to realize that you're not a victim, or you're not stuck. And they really do want you to look at things from another angle. When you're in doubt or, feeling a little lost, your higher self also wants you to stop pretending you don't care about something. Maybe they don't want you to be disingenuous with yourself. Your higher self also wants you to process something so that you can move more freely, unburden yourself. And it feels for a lot of you that you could already know what you need to process within your life in order to unburden yourself. But ultimately, it feels like your higher self wants you to stop thinking that you're broken. Like, if it's like they're screaming, you're not broken, And they want you to be really mindful of staying stuck in limbo for too long. They want you to force movement when or if that happens. When you do feel stuck in limbo for too long, just do something, just take action in some way. And your higher self also wants you to know that you're not failing, you're growing, and you are evolving slowly. And that even if it's slow, they want you to know that it means something, that it's important. Your higher self wants you to also catch your ego, like quiet your ego when you notice it. And they don't want you to be afraid to let go because you're afraid of what's next. They don't want you to be afraid of what's next. And your higher self also wants you to sit in stillness with yourself more often, just so that you can gain clarity within yourself. Like, it feels like your higher self really wants you to not look outside of yourself for the answers, So moving on, we have believe what you see, and on the back it says face reality or live in La La Land. We also have X, reunite with yourself. We have life lessons. We have energy of love. And I'll do these ones after. Yeah, I'll do this after. All right, so with believe what you see, your higher self wants you to know, actually your higher self wants you to be realistic, when it comes to people. They want you to maybe believe what you see, trust yourself as well. But ultimately, they want you to be realistic and kind of like move forward and base things on facts and like what you know for certain, not, feelings and stuff like that. And with X, for some of you, this isn't for everyone, but your higher self wants you to forget about your ex. With energy of love, your higher self also wants you to know that you are loved. Okay, so even if sometimes maybe you don't feel like that's the case. And finally, with life lessons, your higher self also wants you to know, actually not know, but your higher self wants you to go over like maybe some of the major life lessons that you have experienced, and they want you to really take away the lessons from those experiences and just to ask yourself what that tells you. And finally, we have quiet, we have harsh, and we have worried. So your higher self wants you to know that life could be a bit quiet for a while, moving forward. That maybe you should even encourage a quiet life for a little while. With harsh, your guides don't want you to like deep other people's actions too much. Like if you perceive other people's actions as harsh, they kind of want you to let it, kind of like roll off your back. Not, they don't want you to, think about it too much, or kind of, they don't want you to, allow people to have that kind of effect on you. If they are being harsh, who cares. And if they're not being, they might not be, that might not even be their intention. Okay. So they just don't want you to deep things too much. And finally, with worried, if any of you are worried, your higher self wants you to know that there's nothing to be worried about, and you may be able to see a resolution to something that you have been worried about. All right. But that's all I have for those of you who chose this group. I really hope it could be helpful and make sense. I'm wishing you the best. Hopefully I'll see you again soon, but until then, please take care. Bye. Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to your reading. So what messages does your higher self have for you? We have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Star in reverse as well. I will read the other cards in a moment. So what does your higher self want you to know? So for some of you, your higher self wants you to know that you might meet someone that's delusional, and to just be careful of the kind of relationship you may decide to build with them. And for some of you, you could meet this person in like a romantic sense. Maybe on their part, not necessarily on yours. And you could also meet this person in a random environment, okay? But yeah. But moving on from that, your higher self, they want you to question why you're showing up to certain things half-hearted. They want you to, one moment. All right, so your higher self wants you to admit to yourself that you're burned out or emotionally checked out, and that you're escaping too often inside of yourself, and they kind of really want you to, maybe you already know why, but they kind of want you to do something about it. if you don't fully understand why, they want you to kind of take the steps to understand why in whatever way that works for you, whether that's talking to someone else, whether that's, getting some kind of help or support, or, self-help. But yeah, they kind of want you to figure that out. And your higher self also wants you to see that you're not actually healing. Instead, you're avoiding. They want you to see that you're not in love. And they want you, it feels like they want you to know that it seems like you're avoiding real connection, by maybe romanticizing certain people. Your higher self wants you to maybe see or understand that you may not be sure what love is, and that could be something else you would need to figure out. I think I said this already, but again, like your higher self wants you to stop romanticizing someone, or maybe just people, that come into your life will show you a bit of attention. But yeah, your higher self wants you to be honest with yourself about what you want and to stop playing it safe. They want you to discern what's real and what's not moving forward. Your higher self recognizes that you could be afraid of being seen for who you really are, and your higher self wants you to really take in that statement, analyze it, and ask yourself what you're going to do with that information. It feels like they're not really even telling you what to do with that information, but they do really want you to take it in and analyze it and, discern for yourself, like, what's the best way for you to move forward, okay? And your higher self, they also don't want you to feel like you have to pretend to care. That being emotionally honest with yourself is okay, and more important than whatever it is that you've been pretending to care about or might pretend to care about in the future. They want you to know that you're, being emotionally honest with yourself, it trumps, maybe trying to placate other people's feelings. And they also want you to understand that it's okay to not give someone or people what they want. They want you to know that you are emotionally inconsistent, but that's okay. That is something that you can, maybe that's something that you need right now, or let me see. Could be something that you still need to heal from, being emotionally inconsistent, but they also want you to know that it's okay, that that's where you are right now. So yeah, your higher self also wants you to stop hiding behind your charm and, maybe flirtation. They don't want you to avoid depth because it scares you. Like, they don't want you to, maybe keep making these superficial connections. So yeah. And your higher self also, they feel that you've stopped believing certain things will get better. but they want to reassure you that it will get better, and they want you to just be strong, take one step at a time, focus on the present, and trust the process, you know. Your higher self, they don't want you to drown out your intuition. They want you to do what you can to get out of survival mode. And they kind of want you to understand that survival mode has like helped you, but where you're going in the future, you know, being in survival mode, it won't take you there, you know. And they want you to understand is that you need more than that now, you deserve more than that now. And yeah, it's like your higher self, they kind of sense or know that you're losing faith in yourself and that you shouldn't. You're not helpless, so don't act like you are, is what they're saying, you know. And they're also saying that you're not broken, you're just maybe tired, or there are like other things going on that you're not, you know, truly confronting. And your higher self also doesn't want you to be afraid. Like, they don't want you to stop dreaming because you're afraid of being let down again, you know. But anyways, so we have you are giving too many cares. We have seek no further, your aha moment is at hand. We have stay strong in your faith. It says a positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. We also have simple pleasures. And it says look for beauty all around you. And we have busy, we have forceful, and we have mischievous. So your higher self wants you to know that you care too much about what someone thinks. And it doesn't feel like it's people in general. It does feel like it is a very specific person. Could be someone you've known for a very long time. But they want you to know that you care too much about what this person thinks about you, and you shouldn't. So with key, it says seek no further, your aha moment is at hand. And your higher self wants you to know that if you do sit with yourself, intentionally sit with yourself to like think and gain clarity, that you will achieve a breakthrough. You will get the clarity that you need. Okay. So with stay strong in your faith, your higher self wants you to know that they understand you may be doubting yourself at times when it comes to certain things within your life, but they really do want you to stay strong in maybe what you've created so far, or in certain plans or goals that you have. They kind of just don't want you to lose faith in yourself and your journey. Your higher self also wants you to know that keeping things simple could be the best, course of action for right now. So with busy, your higher self wants you to be too busy for someone, if there is someone in your life that does take up a lot of your attention, your energy, your higher self really wants you to kind of give that to yourself instead of like giving it to other people. And they want you to know that it will be a good thing for not only you but for this other person. But yeah, your higher self wants you to know that it's okay to be too busy for someone, okay, if that makes sense. With mischievous, your higher self wants you to be more playful and be a bit more mischievous. And with forceful, your higher self doesn't want you to be, too forceful, with yourself, with your plans, with your goals, and stuff like that. I said it earlier with simple pleasures, but your higher self does want you to kind of take a simple approach to things right now. But that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I hope it could be helpful. I'm wishing you the best, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Please take care. Bye. Hey gorgeous people, if you've chosen the third group, then this reading could be for you. I hope you guys are doing okay. So what messages does your higher self have for you? What do they want you to know? Okay, so to start off with, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, Four of Swords upright. Okay. So your higher self, they want you to rest mentally, and when you catch yourself overthinking, do what works for you to, kind of get out of that mind frame. Or they kind of maybe just want you to be like super aware of, that's like a form of overthinking in itself, really, but they want you to be aware of when you are overthinking and to just do what you can to curb it. So for some of you, they want you to know that someone's been hiding something from you. Could be an acquaintance. But this could be someone that you've noticed trying to get closer to you. This person could be hiding some sort of anger towards you or animosity, and someone could end up telling you about this. So it feels like your higher self just kind of wants to give you a heads up about this person. For some of you, your higher self also wants you to know that there's someone that's carrying guilt over you. Could be someone who's hurt you. Could be someone you see maybe often. Someone that you see on the regular, and this person could plan on making amends with you. But yeah, your higher self wants you to be more realistic. I don't know in what way. It could just be in general, and kind of approach, most things with realism. Maybe it's like what you need to be realistic about is very different for each of you. But your higher self doesn't want you to ride the fence. They don't want you to feel like you have to play both sides. They kind of just want you to be honest and real with yourself. Maybe not being afraid of like upsetting people. And your higher self as well, it feels like they're stating that you're not being honest about what you want and how you feel. And they want you to be honest with yourself about those things. Maybe they want you to be realistic with yourself about those things for some of you. But they also don't want you to dodge consequences. They want you to face things head on. And your higher self, they're really happy that you stopped pretending in some way. Like they're glad that you're not keeping up this act anymore in some area of your life. But your higher self wants you to be aware that if you play mind games or if you continue to play mind games, it will catch up to you. They also want you to stop emotionally skating around certain stuff. They want you to stop doing things that you aren't proud of. Stop betraying your standards, your values. And they also want you to avoid getting involved in messy situations and conflicts in general, especially if it doesn't involve you. Your higher self also wants you to avoid being too reactive. They feel that you've been avoiding the truth in some regards, but they kind of want you to know, or maybe give you a heads up, that it's time for it to be brought to the light. But your higher self also wants you to give yourself time to take a break. They don't want you to be more burned out than you already are. So if you're doing things that you don't really need to do, they kind of maybe want you to be more mindful of that and be more mindful of your energy levels and, you know, potentially burning out in the future. And they kind of want you to give yourself breaks when you need to as well. They also want you to take space so that you can think clearly, and your higher self is worried that you're running away from something, and they want you to stop running because they kind of feel that it's maybe better for you to face it now than you know, down the line. And your higher self also wants you to know that you may need silence over stimulation right now. So we have be grateful, we have dance, move to the rhythm of your soul, we have divine life purpose, balanced life, we have timid, relaxed, and nice. So with be grateful, your higher self wants you to be more grateful for certain things that you have in your life, for your health. With divine life purpose over here. So please only take this if it makes sense, but for some of you, you guys could be doing something that you think is your purpose, but your higher self wants you to know that it isn't your purpose. So please only take that if it, you know, resonates and makes sense for you. So with balanced life, your higher self wants you to find balance within your life so that you aren't, you know, overdoing it in certain areas, so that you aren't, you know, potentially burning yourself out. With dance, it feels like your higher self wants you to be more active, maybe move around a little bit more. So with relax, your higher self wants you to relax a little bit. Your higher self doesn't want you to be timid as well. And with nice, it feels like your higher self wants you to choose being nice. Like maybe you can choose being like, I don't know, like if this feels like they're saying if you can approach something with kindness, then do it. But yeah, but that's all I have for those of you who chose this group. I hope it could be helpful. I'm wishing you the best, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.